Hello, welcome to Something to Offer, the show that goes to the heart of people living their dreams. Today we're going to mix it up just a little bit. It's going to be a little different format because I've begun to take the camera out into the field and shoot people in my neighborhood. Today we're going to have two guests. One has never been on the show before. He is a singer, Joe Gimple, and he lives in my neighborhood. His wife and his daughter have been on my show before, and he lives his dream by any means necessary. He makes sure he's singing all the time. So we're going to meet him, and then we're going to have a follow-up visit with Holly DeSantis from BisColatte, who was on our show 5 years ago, but we're going to go right to her shop today. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. So without any further ado, we're going to hear from Joe. Hey Joe, this is my friend Joe Gimple, and he's a singer, and you can see he's looking over some of his material that he does in clubs and shows, and he's going to share his journey and his dream and his music with us today. So Joe, he's kind enough to let me do it this way. I'm going to be behind the camera asking the questions. But Joe, first off, who among singers' vocals do you really admire, or have you taken any tips from in the way they sing? And you're talking.
Okay. Yeah, that's, a lot of the singers I like are older singers. They're female, Carmen McRae, Billie Holiday. I loved her music. I loved the way she phrased. Louis Armstrong. I like the style of Bobby Darin, the swinging style. I like Sammy Davis Jr.
I loved him. I thought he was great.
And Louis Armstrong was a big...
Cool. Now, when did you fall in love with music or vocalizing? How did the whole... Oh my gosh, Joe, I just messed up when I said that.
You went up?
Raised the camera. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. I'll just cut that part out.
Okay, go.
When did you... I was talking and I just let the camera go. It's okay. We're just being all natural here. I have such a great shot of you, so it's wonderful. When did it all happen for you, Joe? How did it begin? I mean, I know you were an actor.
I probably didn't realize it, but I was in high school, and music was such a big part of my life. I was playing it all the time, and also I would be singing songs. I would hear songs. We had the hit parade, the top 10 and all, and in the 50s. This is in the 50s now. So we'd have the top 10, and you'd hear all the popular music, and I learned all the songs. I knew the lyrics to all the songs. I would sing them to myself, and I didn't get up in front of people and sing. I was kind of afraid to get up in front of people and sing.
So I guess, when did you overcome your fear and start to pursue it, or how did you shape, because this is a deep, deep passion of yours. When did it become so much passion, and how did you live in a big city, it's challenging, how did you make it work for yourself?
Okay, I came to New York because I wanted to work as an actor, and when I came, and acting was fine with me because as an actor I could be a different character. I didn't have to be myself. I was a different character. As a singer, I was myself getting up in front of someone. So I didn't even think about it. I just kept singing to myself, basically. And then when I really couldn't act anymore because of a health problem, there was a book called The Artist's Way. And that book, I did a few of the exercises from that book, and singing kept coming up, a love for singing, and I realized that had been there all my life, and I loved to sing. So I started doing it. I started going to open mics, and there was this one singer on 9th Avenue at a place called. She told me about the Singers Forum, and I went there and started doing classes with this. It was a senior class for elderly people, and I like an hour a week I'd go there and do songs, work on songs, and then just songs started I started singing more songs.
So, Joe, just tell me a little bit about how because now you go to open mics, you've produced and created several shows, which we can talk a little bit about. How do you go about it? Like, how do you select your songs? Like, if you're going out on a certain night, do you think about what's going to make you feel good or what's going to make the audience? Like, what is your little game plan? Maybe you can take us through it, like if we were with you right now.
Okay, there's a song I've been working on, which right here on top. The song is, "What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life?" Okay? And this song is about, lyrics in the song are important to me, and they end up telling a story, but this song, "What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life?" It's like, how do you tell someone they're so important to you that you want to spend the rest of your life with them? So in this song, it's like, what are you doing the rest of your life? North and south and east and west of your life. I have only one request of your life, that you spend it all with me. So I pick songs that, then this song would be a flashback to maybe when I first fell in love. And the song that I heard from my high school days is a song called "Teach Me Tonight," which is, I don't know if you know that or not.
I know the title, and I think I know it, but I'm not sure if I can hum it. Teach me tonight, or something like, I don't know what that tune is, though.
Did you say I've got a lot to learn?
Yeah.
Well, don't think I'm trying not to learn. But the thing about songs is most songs are about love. They all come from or contain some form of love. So in putting a show together, I tried to find a reason for picking the songs. And the first time I did a show, I picked songs that were important to my life and brought me joy, because I think that's what music does for all of us. And one of the first songs that I did was "But Beautiful." And that starts out with a verse that goes, "Who can say what love is? Does it start in the mind or the heart? When I hear discussions on what love is, everybody speaks a different part. Love is funny, or it's sad, or it's quiet, or it's mad. Bubble bed and double bay, bubble bed and bubble bay. But love is beautiful." And just,
It's great, Joe. I love it. It's so great. So inclusive, you just bring people in when you sing. So how challenging is it to, create a show for yourself? Because now you've done that. I mean, you do go out to open mics, and there's a certain joy in that, I'm sure, and you get to practice your tunes, and probably they help you figure out what you want to put in a show. How challenging is that, and what's it like? What was the undertaking like for, you've done what, 3 of them now, 4 of them?
Yeah, 4 shows.
4, yeah.
Yeah. The first time it was just, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just following my instincts, putting the show together, one song after the other, and then talking in between, which was telling the story. And I actually didn't have time to think about it, so that was good. And I just had a place to do it, had a musician I was working with and practicing with for several months, and used her she played piano for me. Her name is Chimi Nakai. She's a wonderful pianist, and a bass player and a trumpet player. And basically I had the bass player because that was my rhythm section and kept all of us going. And then the trumpet player was like my alter ego. He would take over and do a solo during the song, and so it wasn't me always singing.
It's kind of like what I love about jazz musicians. They do all that riffing, like
Yes, yeah.
you're each an instrument. You're an instrument, and all the
Right.
guys in your band were an instrument, which is so great.
Right.
Now, what about the one I got to see, which was your most recent one? That was amazing, and you do come from your whole family. I mean, your wife, your daughter, everybody sings. So you were able to include them in your process too.
Yeah.
What was that like? Is that fun?
Well, it's always been really good to have them get up on stage and sing with me, and it just Phyllis and I.
Yeah.
And but it just like that is how to end my show, is having them come up and we do a song together, and
I love you.
Love is here to stay.
I love that song. It's
Yeah.
so great. I love that. And you guys do it so well. It's really wonderful. So, Joe, what would you say is the most challenging thing about when you have like this dream and this goal and you're doing it the way you can do it? Like, what's the most challenging thing to sort of keep yourself moving and active and keeping the music up? And do you practice every day? Do you how do you keep it going for yourself?
okay, I just find myself needing, I want to practice every day, and I sometimes, and I don't, and then I don't feel good. The difficult part is getting musicians, being able to pay musicians to rehearse with them, because you need to rehearse. Mm-hmm. And then being able to go to a place, put a show on, and take in enough money so you can pay the musicians and pay yourself something. And that's very difficult to do.
Right.
And until you break into that and become known, I know a few people that are working pretty much, but I know many, many more people that aren't working, and you just can't get something going for you. So all the people I see at the open mics are people that would love to do shows, and but they feel the need to sing in front of people, and so you come to the open mics, and open mics they take on it's a little society of its own.
Right, and you can really try out your material and find other people that you might want to do a show with, or musicians that you like.
Right. Or it's nice too that someone that you really respect, say a pianist or someone, you do a song and then you don't know how you know how you feel about it, but they come back and they kind of enhance your feeling because they're complimentary. They tell you that they like the song, what you did with it, and if you respect them, that goes a long way.
That's great. So, Joe, what would be like your ultimate goal or panacea with your music? What would be your thing you'd like?
Well, let's see. I've known people who would say, I'd like to have a bar and I'd like to perform there like every week, and I would like to do that too. You know, I would kind of like to have a little television. I would like to have a television show once a week and invite singers up and do a special. But you don't start off there. That's like at the top.
Well,
And you don't start from the top usually. I have trouble just getting myself a show going.
I gotcha. Okay. So, what, in short, what would you? Oh gosh, I didn't do that very well.
What?
I started to zoom out when I wanted to zoom in. What would you tell people when they're going after something they love, in terms of, you know, when they hit bumpy spots or they feel like they can't do it, or, you know, that things that look like the odds are against them, or, oh, I don't have an agent, or I don't have this, or I don't. What would you say to keep people going on their journey or their goal?
I guess that you have to take the steps to make it happen, and you can't depend on other people to like you or dislike you. You shouldn't even try to rate it, and I tell myself that many times. You shouldn't care about that. Try to keep that out of your thinking. You just do what you want to do as much, and try to get if you want to get a show in a club, do that and not worry about what other people are telling you. And I think if you head along that line, an agent or someone who will help you will come into your life because the door will be open. If you just hang back, there's no door to open.
That's really very good. So, do you want to sing us out on any little thing? Do you have a little? It's so nice for you to sing before. I'm not putting any pressure on you. If anything comes to you, fine. If not.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world, oh yeah. I see Ibo-day, Babo-day, Bando-day, Babo-day. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
It was so great. I wish we could have heard the whole song, but we're going to run out of time. Joe's marvelous, and I'm very excited about our next clip, and I'm glad you're patient with my camera work. We're going to Holly DeSantis, who is the founder and owner of BisColatte. It's on 47th Street, between 47th and 46th on 10th Avenue. It is the greatest little shop, homemade biscotti. You should try it and definitely check it out. So we're going to have that clip right about now. I think we're going to have a little offering, and that clip should be coming up just in any moments. This wonderful establishment, and I'm so happy to be back on your 5-year anniversary. This is the year of 5 years anniversary. So Holly, first thing I want to ask is, how has it been to make it for 5 years in Hell's Kitchen? And tell us where we're at with the business and what people can enjoy at the store.
Well, it's been 5 years. It hasn't been easy, but we're still here, and we're happy to announce that. And we evolved a little bit over time, and it isn't exactly how I anticipated it, but nothing ever is. And we continue to make everything here on the premises, and we like to believe we're different than the other places that are like us. I don't know, how is it different? Or how has it been is really what we're looking for. I don't know, it just, it is. We work every day to keep it going.
So, Holly, talk about what you make and your mission and what you feel like you give people. And I know it extends beyond the store now, too. I mean, you're in other venues.
Yeah, we're in wholesale. We have we have wholesale. We have an online store. It was really important to be able to control everything that comes out of here. We no longer have ice cream that we did in the beginning, or I should say gelato, which I really thought would be a bigger pull in here. But right now, I make everything that you see in the store. Everything, from the soups to the risottos and the oatmeal, everything except for the bread that we serve with the soup. And I feel really proud of the stuff we make here. I know that there's quality, and I believe it's something that you just can't find anywhere else. I shouldn't say anywhere else, but it's very hard to find in New York City right now to be an independent store that creates everything yourself. So, you know, that's what we really are giving you, is a little taste of handmade. Handmade is really what it's about here.
And how did you, or what are the learning ropes or learning curves, some of the things you learned over, you know, like, okay, you get the business, you start it, and then how have certain things shifted? More biscotti, more something else? What is
I think
the
that
demand in the neighborhood?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. If we talk about the demand in the neighborhood, in the beginning it was really all about the biscotti, and Then we started to introduce soup and oatmeals and then risotto, and we do all of that now. But I think that probably the biggest thing is being a person who, with her family, eats just about everything, that the neighborhood was really hungry for a lot of vegetarian and vegan choices. And most notably now is a lot of the wheat-free choices or gluten-free choices. So often here we have a variety of our specialty biscotti that are wheat and gluten-free. We also have sugar-free, and we have vegan choices. And that same thing carries over into almost all of the things that we do here. We have frittatas that are wheat and gluten-free, which are savory egg squares that we do here. There are vegan muffins. We have vegan cupcakes. And with the soups and the risottos, we offer them in vegan choices. So by not adding chicken broth to our risotto, they can always be vegetarian. And often the soup choices, we put the pasta separate and add the cheese if you want it to keep them dairy-free if that's the case. And so, you know, that's sort of a big following here for that, I think, is that they're all really wholesome and good for you.
So what would you say has been the biggest challenge in starting your own business? I mean, you've had other businesses, Holly, but this is like you live in the neighborhood. It's you know, you kind of were a trailblazer on this block. Now you have a bunch of things coming up around you. What have been some of the challenges?
Well, I really wanted to create something that was community driven. I live across the street. I had a young child at the time. He's now almost 13. So it was a place where I wanted him to, which I said I think early on, that I wanted him to have a place he could come to after school and know where to always find his mother. And you know, that's been a challenge because the young people of today are growing up with places like a lot of chain locations in Manhattan, which were never before. And there's that certain sense of privilege that comes to those people, and they don't always respect and understand what it is that I've tried to create here as a community place to keep the store alive, you know. And that's been a big challenge. But I think that we somehow got through it. You could maybe zero in on a BisColatte philosophy, which is something that, you know, we get a lot of flack for not allowing computers and not wanting people to talk on the phone, and just sort of respect. We use, you know, at the tables, we only use ceramic ware, and you know, we actually give people rewards for recycling their paper sleeves when they take things to go, and mostly the customers get it, but you know, there's a good percentage that just want everything when they want it, how they want it, and really don't care about the independent, you know, store. So that's been a big challenge, but we're still here, and you know, after 5 years, we have a lot of people that support us, and we're really grateful for them. And you know, I thought it might be easier after 5 years, but you know, in this environment when, you know, your rents go up and prices go up, it's been quite a difficult task still, but it's, you know, I have integrity, I like to think. If I have nothing else, I have my integrity. So I built a place with a certain belief, and I kept it that way, and we're still here, so we hope to be here for a lot longer.
That's great. So one little quick last thing. What would you say your ultimate goal is, or your mission? I mean, you make homemade things, fresh every day, you keep creating. What would you ultimately hope to be remembered for in the hood from your store?
Well, that I did a community-driven thing, that it's a place to meet and greet your neighbors, where people actually know your name when you come in here, not just how you take your coffee. That, you know, if you've been coming in here for more than a month and you come in 3 days a week, you know, chances are we know who you are, what you do, where you work, and not in the way that I just read in the New York Times that we keep a file on you. We just, you know, it's more relaxed that way. You know, so
it's a safe zone too. I feel like when you're here, it's a very safe place to be.
Well, also when you think about the community around us, and I talk about New York and what it once was, it's really hard to run an independent business that isn't serving alcohol. And, you know, being somebody who, like I said, we eat all things, we also drink all things in our family, but I didn't choose to do that. And I think it's kind of a special place, and I hope people see that as a place that is not a bar and not a chain store, where you can hang with people you really care about, or maybe meet somebody that lives in your neighborhood. So, you know, that's really what I wanted to do, and I think some people get it, you know.
Well, you've done it beautifully, and I thank you so much. And that's it. Thank you. And they're at 47th Street, between 47th and 46th on 10th Avenue, BisColatte. So come on in. The
Coffee's great. BisColatte better. Okay, see you. Thanks.
Thank you.
So I really hope that you enjoyed that. I had a great time being in my neighborhood and shooting people that live in the area. And I'm from Hell's Kitchen, and you know, M&N's not really outside of that area. And you're going to see a few more of these coming up because I'm practicing my skills, my camera skills, and I like it because some people aren't as comfortable being in a studio. They're much happier being in their work environment. So just please remember, you always have something to offer, and it's great to be with you, and I'm just trying something different, so I appreciate you watching, and I think it's kind of fun this way. I hope you like it. We'll be seeing more episodes like this in the weeks to come. Have a great day. We'll see you next week, and until next time, be well.